Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Slays here with another video. Today we will be covering what happened in the Lub versus Mafia war and the RUFA versus Negan 2 war, and currently what is going on with Negan 2, ZERG, and SPLIF. So, originally my predictions were that Lub would win against... No, not Lub. Mafia would win against Lub. Sorry about that, guys. And I was right in that aspect. Um, Famous player, as everybody likes to call him, a Sith Haunter was killed, and now he is deciding to pirate the entire game because, you know, yeah, he was fed and he gets over 1,000,000,000 wood per day. Yay! Because good for him. He needs all that wood. Like we need him getting any stronger. Ugh, shudders. So, between the Lub versus Mafia war, here's how Mafia secured the dub, or the victory. So, during the start of the war, Mafia surprise attacked Lub, and right away, you could just tell they were totally dominating. Like, really totally dominating, because I went to bed for like 5 hours. I woke up in the morning, and all of a sudden, Lub had dropped 220 billion HF from 520 billion. They were at like, I think it was 380 billion. I'm not sure if that's my exact math, if it's completely correct. The start of the war happened a while ago. It's a pretty late vid, but I figured I'd just do a video about the end. Sorry about that. I get a lot of notifications. But essentially, from the beginning, Mafia won the Flood War. So that's where a Flood War is basically where you attempt to steal as much as of HF, yeah, because that's English, as much HF of the enemy alliances as you can, and secure it and go into holiday mode and have it just locked down. They can't get to it, and they're not getting it back until, you come out of HM mode and they can hit you. And there's a very good chance if you time it perfectly, you can come out of HM mode and go straight back into it. There's not much chance for them to attack you. Well, and get the HF back. So essentially, it allows you to take their HF, control that aspect of the war, while your hunters and your fighters are down low, battling it out with the enemy alliance, and attempting to kill their farmers, attempting to kill their hunters and their members. And very quickly, it was very apparent that Lub was getting dominated by Mafia. There was really not much of a fight on Lub's part. It was total massacre for Lub. They were demolished. It was like watching, like, it would have been like Xeno attacking NATO. Like, it was total annihilation. So they fought valiantly, Lub did, and eventually they did decide to surrender because Haunter was being a dick. He left the alliance. He left Lub and was insulting them on GC, just being a general asshole. Um, you know, and let's get off the Haunter topic before he comes and nests me. But and then, so yeah, Lub lost, and now I do believe that. Hold on, let me check. Mafia is the number 3 alliance in the game. They decided to give Lub a pretty easy let off. They didn't take as much HF as they could have and probably should have, realistically, for the amount of fighting they put up. And, well, the amount of fighting they put into it, the war. They were very, very fair with HF demands, Mafia was. And so now Mafia is at 443 billion HF, and Lub's at 457 billion. So just based on that, Lub dropped about 70 billion HF, so I'm going to assume Mafia gained about 70 billion HF, which is just an astronomical amount of HF for me. it's just mind-boggling how big wars can be. 70 billion HF is 3.36 trillion wood per day. That's it's just astronomical. Like, holy crap. It's just amazing. So, yeah, Lub lost and Mafia won. And sad news about the Nagin versus Rufa war, sadly. Rufa did decide to surrender. I'm not quite sure how much HF Nagin 2 won, but uh, now they're currently in a war with ZERG 2. And my predictions are that ZERG will come out on top, but I'll explain what happened between ZERG and how ZERG got involved. So essentially, SPLIF decided to surprise attack ZERG, and I think this is just a huge struggle between the English and the French coalition. And honestly, right now it appears that the French coalition is winning by a little bit. I wouldn't say they have a definitive victory over the English coalition due to the fact that, Lub lost their war. So Mafia got stronger, they got more XP, Lub's armies have been decimated. So that was the biggest French alliance at that time, and it's been decimated. The armies are gone. Mafia had a very easy time doing this, and they still have a majority of their armies. They can still hunt. They're still in like full. They don't even really need to recover. They could go into a full war against another major French alliance and come out probably still good. It depends. But yeah, Lub just got outclassed, outexperienced, outfought. They did put up a good fight though, and it was a very valiant fight. Now, Rufa did decide to surrender against Nagin 2 due to the fact that Nagin is just a beast of an alliance, an absolute beast. Like, it was crazy. Their armies are massive. I mean, the majority of Nagin 2 did die, and there's only about 4 to 5 major armies from my estimations left from what I've seen. And, that'd be Nquenda, Tiene, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Most likely Guillotine. I'd say maybe Lerobe. I'm not 100% sure. They did get a couple more people in the alliance though, and it's kind of sad to see they have three very very noticeable multis in their alliance right now that are in the process of being talked about. NASA, Nuke, and Space are in there, and then another one of those three multis is in NATO. His name is Worlds. So I would say it was a close war between Rufa and Nagin, but Rufa ultimately probably just decided to surrender. They surrendered 30 billion HF, which is not a whole lot from Rufa standards. I mean, that would only put Nagin's total HF at probably about 180 billion right now. So, and especially if they lose against ZERG, it's not going to be pretty for ZERG or SPLIF, because SPLIF decided to surprise attack ZERG completely out of the blue and attempts to probably tilt the power back into the French coalition's hands. And SPLIF quickly realized they were very outclassed, and I mean very, very outclassed by ZERG. So then they decided to call in their good buddies Nagin 2 to hop in. So now ZERG was fighting a two-front war it was a 2v2. So it was ZERG and Rufa versus SPLIF and Nagin 2. And immediately everybody's seen Mighty Zob, the leader of ZERG, and MDG 84. I would call her a co-leader of ZERG. She's a very, very strong fighter in ZERG. Just started cutting through SPLIF's ranks like a hot knife through butter. It was fun to watch while it was happening, and while SPLIF didn't have their entire alliance in HM mode, pretty much. So now it's down to ZERG versus Nagan 2 and SPLIF. That's the only war going on currently, to my knowledge. Major war. And my current predictions for this is, well, Nequenda's impossible to kill right now, currently, unless major armies start crashing. And that's always an iffy thing, because major armies that hunt like 2 billion per, hunt, like, you don't want to lose those. Those are multi-year armies. So losing those hurts a lot for ZERG. So I honestly think that ZERG will come out on top, but they'll take some damages, some more significant damages than they'd probably hope. So I think ZERG wins against SPLIF, has a harder time beating Nagan 2 simply because of how big their armies are. The remaining super armies in Nagan 2. It's just, Nagan 2 is just strong as crap. They haven't had a major war since, they're just now, like, RUFA versus Nagan 2, and then now ZERG versus Nagan 2. It's honestly insane. So I'm gonna break down how the start of the RUFA and Nagan 2 war went. So immediately after RUFA was surprise attacked by Nagan 2, Nagan 2 sent their farmers to LM. RUFA sent their farmers to ZERG. That's where they had them. I can disclose this information now because the war between those two alliances is over. RUFA is out of the fight. And I think they did this particularly because, ultimately, RUFA has a bomb-ass chain. They can afford to lose 30 billion. Not all of their hunters died. They still have plenty of hunters. They can still hunt at least, I don't even know. They still can hunt a lot. And actually, right now, they are currently the second strongest in anthill in the entire server. They have 19,183 anthill, 52 members. Fight points is 11,792. ZERG's the only alliance that is bigger than them in anthill fight points. Is it even bigger in fight? Yeah, bigger in fight points. No, bigger in everything. ZERG pretty much is number one in everything in the game. For like basic stats, alliance stats. So yeah, it started off like that. It was just a major power struggle in the Flood War between RUFA and Nagan 2. Nagan 2 just had massive armies that could take billions upon billions each flood, and RUFA was mostly trying to just avoid getting killed. And I think why they did surrender is, like I said, they can afford to. They can afford to lose 30 billion HF. It's not going to kill them. It's not going to hurt them too bad. They can still hunt. They can still flood. They can, still pass and farm and all that other good shit. And ultimately, I think RUFA is going to come out of this and reemerge from their ashes and do better than any other alliance in HF hunting, I'd imagine. Maybe LM will pull ahead. It really depends. They only have 36 members compared to all the other major alliances. So that's not really many. The only major alliance that has, you can't even call SNFST, Snfist, as I like to call it, a major alliance. You can't call Nagan a really, you can right now, actually, yes, you can call Nagan a major alliance. But, like, other than that, like, RUFA and LM probably are gonna see some massive HF gains in the recent future, yeah, that's how you English, in the near future. And I'm honestly excited to see this. I can't wait to see how this turns out. My predictions is ZERG will win, and it could always go a different way. Mighty could get caught and killed, and all of a sudden, they could be down one of their best fighters. MDG could just be a second off and get killed, or, she could accidentally crash into Nequenda and pretty much kill him. She'll lose her entire army, coincidentally. Very unfortunately. But if that happens, then Nagan's down their biggest army, I'd assume. one of their biggest armies, and there's not much Nagin could do from that. So Zerg would probably proceed to just outflood them, starve them, and then probably just start crashing and killing them. Ultimately, I mean, there's not much Nagin could do. Pretty much every one of them are dead. There's only 4 to 5 that's left alive. Zerg, as you guys know, has 127 members. It's massive. And I think Zerg is probably going to win. That's my reasoning. They have more they probably have more troops in total, which is more armies they can crash if they need to. And, eventually Nagin's going to run out of armies. So, if it goes very long term, Zerg's going to win. Yeah, that's my predictions for these wars. So HF wins. I would say Zerg would probably demand at least 80 billion from SPLIF. I wouldn't take anything else less. For the surprise attack and the bullshittery they pulled, I would honestly take 150 billion, which is kind of fascist of me to say, because that's a lot of HF for one war. But then again, they surprise attacked Zerg, quickly realized they were fucked, and then called in backup. So if that happened to me, I would personally not go light on it. I would say at least a 35 to 40%. I'd say a 30% HF, war tax, war winnings, I should say. So that equate to about 90 to 100 billion. They'd probably only take 80 billion from SPLIF. And then against Nagin, if Nagin has 180 billion HF right now, I'd say they'd probably take about 40 billion, totally negating Nagin's war wins for winning against RUFA. So ultimately, if Nagin and SPLIF lose, it is going to severely tip the balance of power into the English coalition's hands. And that's one thing I really hope to see in the near future. As an up-and-coming Alliance Phoenix, I'm very kind of scared for what could happen with major alliances in the future. Like, if we start to get where Xeno is, and all of a sudden, Nagin decides, hey, that's easy HF. They haven't gotten time to actually develop their accounts very far. Let's just quick take 10, 15 billion and, set us back 10, 15 billion. I mean, currently, we don't have that much, but in the future, it could be very dangerous to have that much HF, especially if the French coalition ends up winning this power struggle. There's not going to mean very good things for the English coalition. There's a very good possibility that the French coalition could just band up and start picking off the English alliances and just start pulling a now on everybody. And if they do that, the game's quite honestly going to be done for the English coalition. There's not much we can do. We'll all have to turn into Sigway, or Sigu, which isn't bad. He's a very, very skilled attacker. And honestly, I would not want to be SPLIF or Nagin 2 right now fighting against him, because he's the original founder of ZERG, which is just amazing that he's back in ZERG, and he's back helping lead and fight and stuff like that. Very, very happy to see that, even if it's just for a short amount of time. I can imagine that SPLIF, Lub, Nagin 2, any French alliance is really going to be on his radar from now on. And, yeah. So, ultimately, if the English coalition wins, we're going to see at least 2 alliances in the top 3. 2 English alliances in the top 3. It will boost ZERG up to about Mafia's level. And so Love will be back at number 1 again, which is kind of ironic. But like I said, Love's armies are decimated. There's nothing left. So Mafia will probably quickly outhunt them and take that number 1 spot if SPLIF does lose. And then we'll probably see a majority of an English-dominated server, which I'm very excited to see, because it'd mean great things for Phoenix's future, Rip's future. I mean, Taz, I'm kind of iffy on, because Right now, they're chilling at 15 billion HF. I'm not very happy with them because they declared war on us when they and Xeno were fighting, and they essentially killed all of us, and we didn't get really any war winnings, and I was not very happy about that. But ultimately, it's a game. I have no control over what happened in that. I couldn't argue with Xeno. I wasn't about to. They make very valid and very good decisions, so I trust their judgment. Although my profile still does say ADP is my enemy forever. That's not getting changed anytime soon. But yeah, guys, that's all I really have to say. So a quick recap of what I said. RUFA lost the war, lost 30 billion HF. Nagan gained 30 billion HF. Lub lost against MAFIA. MAFIA gained a good chunk of HF, 70 to 80 billion, I think, if that's my correct calculations. And yeah, my predictions for the ZERG versus SPLIF and Nagan war is ZERG is going to come out on top. Then after that, it's pretty much an English-dominated server. You never really know how things are going to go, but these are just my predictions. I would love it. I'd love to hear your guys' predictions down in the comment section, and I'd love to talk with you guys about this. Another interesting topic that I might be talking about soon is, oh shit, what was I gonna say? It's something about Phoenix and, the Wing Alliance we have, and it's named TP. And I can't speak, guys. Right now, I am in the, Wing Alliance TP, and everything's going pretty good. I have some topics I'd like to talk about. Some of them may be controversial, and some of them may not be. I'll try to continue uploading more regularly. I know I haven't really been keeping up to date, and this video is going to be pretty long, so I doubt all you guys are going to watch it. But if you did make it to the end, I very much appreciate that. I would appreciate it even more if you decided to hit the like button, and maybe it's the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. And make sure to hit that notification bell to get notified anytime I upload a video. And it's not like you're going to be getting 1,000 notifications every week. I only upload probably once every week. Way less than that, actually. But I'm going to try to do once every week, or twice or 3 times every week if I can. But yeah, other than that, that's all I have to say, guys. It's been nice talking with you guys. Peace. Says out.